Baba Vanga once said that 2026 would not be an ordinary year. It would be a turning point. A year when fate stops being silent and begins to move quietly, but with purpose. She spoke of 6 signs of the zodiac who would feel this shift more deeply than anyone else. Not by luck. Not by coincidence. But by a force that arrives at exactly the right moment. Today, we reveal those 6 signs and what awaits them. Aries. For Aries, 2026 begins with uncertainty. Doors that have been knocked on for years will seem permanently closed. But something shifts. An invisible impulse arrives, and Aries stops waiting for the perfect moment and begins creating it. Vanga warned that this year will test their faith. People close to them may disappoint them. But it is precisely these moments that will reveal the most important truth. Happiness is not something that comes from outside. It is born from within. By autumn, the storm will have passed. What remains is clarity, calm strength, and a life that finally feels like their own. Work that was once overlooked will be recognized. Money will flow steadily. But above all, inner freedom. The feeling of finally breathing fully, without fear. This is not luck. This is what happens when fire becomes wisdom. Taurus walks toward happiness slowly, deliberately, like spring after a long winter. The first months of 2026 will be quiet on the surface, but deep movement will be happening underneath. Old habits will stop working. Old silences will need to become words. And when Taurus finally allows themselves to move rather than wait, everything begins to shift. Vanga said, when Taurus believes in himself, even stone blooms. By summer, unexpected sources of income will appear. Work will be recognized. And in relationships, something rare will arrive: quiet understanding. 2 people no longer competing, but complementing each other. By year's end, Taurus will understand something they spent years looking for. Happiness is not a destination. It is a state you grow into, day by day, in a heart that never gave up. Gemini. For Gemini, 2026 is the year the internal noise finally quiets down. They have always moved fast between ideas, between people, between possibilities. But this year, something focuses. A clarity arrives that feels almost prophetic. Complex decisions will suddenly seem simple. Creative work will carry real magnetism. Spring will ask a difficult question: are they ready to let go of what no longer serves them? People who drain them, fears that have long lost their meaning. When Gemini answers yes, space opens up. Vanga said, Gemini will find their happiness when they learn to listen to the silence between thoughts. By December, they will look back at a year that transformed them from restless and divided to whole. And that feeling of wholeness will be the greatest reward of all. Leo. 2026 is Leo's year of returning to greatness. Not the loud, performative kind, but the real kind. The kind that comes from inner peace. The early months will test them. But Leo has changed. They no longer react impulsively, no longer waste energy on things that don't matter. They have learned the power of stillness. And that stillness will become their greatest strength. By spring, something shifts in their sense of self. They no longer need to prove their worth. And the moment they stop seeking approval, success begins moving toward them naturally. Vanga said that 2026 is Leo's year of purification. A love that is deep and mutual may appear. A partnership that brings stability rather than chaos. And slowly, Leo will discover new parts of themselves: tenderness, trust, sincerity, qualities they once hid, now revealed as their greatest power. By December, they will not need applause. Their presence will be the proof. Scorpio enters 2026 like a phoenix standing at the edge of the fire, ready, but not yet risen. The shadows of past years will still linger in January. Old disappointments, unresolved questions. But this is not stagnation. This is preparation. The universe is quietly clearing the path. By spring, Scorpio will act. Where they once waited, they will move. Where they once doubted, they will be certain. And the people who cannot match that energy will step aside on their own. Vanga said, when Scorpio wakes up, the world around him comes alive. Financially, this will be a year of real growth. In love, real depth. And perhaps most importantly, for the first time, Scorpio will feel peace in their relationships. Not passion that burns out, but a steady warmth that holds. By the end of the year, the old skin will have fallen away. What remains is someone clear, strong, and free. No longer fighting the world, creating within it. Virgo has spent years working in silence. Precise, disciplined, often without recognition. 2026 is when that changes. Vanga predicted that Virgo would be among the happiest signs of the year not because of luck, but because they finally allow themselves to receive what they have earned. Spring will bring a pivotal choice. Safe and familiar, or uncertain but full of possibility. And for the first time in a long time, Virgo will choose the risk. That one step will change everything. Professionally, doors will open that once felt permanently shut. Financially, stability will arrive not through anxiety, but through genuine confidence. And in their inner world, something even more powerful will happen. Virgo will stop living by other people's standards. Vanga said, Virgo's happiness will come when she stops living by the standards of others. By December, Virgo will no longer chase perfection. They will simply live. And in that simplicity they will finally feel like themselves. Outro Vanga believed that 2026 carries a quiet but powerful force, one that does not announce itself loudly, but arrives precisely when you are ready. For these 6 signs, the doors are already opening. Not because fate decided to be kind, but because something inside them has been preparing for this for a very long time. If this resonated with you, take a moment today. Not to plan, not to worry, just to be still. Because sometimes that is exactly when life begins to move.